Welcome to the story of the law. In the last segment, I told you the journey, how the law traveled from all the way from nowhere to Europe, and Europe to all over the world. And you can see, as I've been talking, that the law has got a very powerful genesis from Europe. We must be grateful for European countries, whether we like it or not, whether we love them or we hate them. They gave us law to organize the world. Justinian law, Romanic law, French law, all those have got a common genesis. Then the rest of the law is civil law. I beg your pardon, common law. It was a very strong genesis from England. So we have to be very grateful for those types. Now, what is law, you might ask? Law is not the same as just rules. But by saying that, indirectly I mean that law are rules. So the world is governed by rules. Now, some of you might say, I'm religious. I don't believe in the efficacy of the law. If you are a Christian, the Bible is also called the law, or the book of the law. In fact, the first 5 books written by Moses are known as the Torah, the books of the law. And it's true. They are books of the law. They are rules. And these rules may be called different names, as we'll be seeing in my other presentations. If you are a Muslim, your Sharia law originates from the Quran, and so on. If you are customary law, Aboriginal, or you are an African traditionalist, your rules originate from custom, folklores, tales, beliefs, and sayings of the wise. All those put together, they create a tradition. If you move from one nation to the other, the law originates from what we call conventions or treaties. When nations meet together and decide on how they're going to control the airflow, the traffic, climate change, and all those, they are creating a body of law known as international law. They are creating treaties. They are creating rules, how to travel, how to pass in a certain area, how to transact business, how not to pollute the oceans, the air. All those rules are being created. Now, the difference between rules per se and law is that law is the rules that can be enforced by the courts of law or by international body given such power to enforce or interpret those conventions. That's what makes the difference between simple rules and law. Law has got the backing of very powerful institutions like courts, like the United Nations Organization, etc. They back it up with applicable, necessary enforcement, so that it's not just put in books and forgotten or dealt with by judges, forgotten. So it is a relationship between what is created through a recognized body of representatives. This could be at the local level, like a legislative assembly, a national assembly, or a parliament. Or it could be at an international level, say by the legal department of the United Nations Organization, or the European Union, or African nation, and so on. So these sit together and create the rules. These rules are different from, like the rule you have with the one who wakes up early in the morning in my house must sweep the house. Those may not be enforced, to get it from me. But when the law has been passed in Parliament, it forms a general norm and standard of behavior. It is a condition of the law, and it is power infused. It cannot simply be obeyed or be disobeyed at will, at random. It must be disobeyed at all times, or if it gives necessary resilience or even its prohibitions, those must be stopped. That's the difference between international law, local law, and the definition of law in general from simple rules. Now, given time, we'll look at in various ways in which the law manifests, for instance, in statutes, in regulations, in ordinances, in bylaws, in policies, in rules, in guidelines, and so on. That will be for another time. For now, thank you.